In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Hafiz Muhammad Usman Naveed and I am a foundation level student at Rehan School. So today I talk for
Awesome.
Maya. Hello Maya, how are you?
Good. I'm all right. Just existing, you know? It's a whole thing. How about you? Anything interesting happened today?
What are micro habits?
Ooh, good question. From what I've gathered, micro habits are super tiny actions, so small, they're almost impossible to fail at, like ridiculously small. People say they're different from bigger habits because they focus on just getting started, not necessarily reaching a huge goal right away. Does that make sense, or do you want me to dive a little deeper? I'm hearing you're curious about them. What sparked the question?
Why are micro habits
Right. Why bother with such small stuff? Well, the idea is they build momentum. Like if you want to read more instead of read a book a week, you start with read one page. It's so easy. You just do it. Then maybe the next day you read two. It's less about the page itself and more about training your brain to associate something with a positive feeling, completion in this case. What do you think about that? Does it sound kind of sneaky almost?
how are big habits, micro habits different from big habits?
Okay, so picture this. Big habits are like planning a whole road trip, right? Lots of steps, packing, route planning, potential for things to go wrong. Micro habits are like deciding to put on your shoes. It's one tiny step, super easy, and doesn't feel overwhelming. Big habits require willpower and motivation up front. Micro habits aim to bypass that, relying on sheer simplicity to get you going. Once you're going, it's easier to keep going. It's kind of like inertia, I guess. Does that distinction click?
Can small actions change life?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it? I mean, logically, yeah, I think so. It's not about one big change, it's about a ton of tiny changes adding up over time, like compound interest, but for your life. It's not going to be overnight, but consistently doing those small things, people say it can totally shift things. What's your take on that? Do you think it's believable or a bit too optimistic?
Why are micro habits easy to follow?
Because they're designed to be. Seriously, that's the whole point. They're so small, your brain doesn't even register them as a challenge. There's almost zero resistance. It's like brush one tooth versus brush your teeth for 2 minutes. The first one feels doable, right? It's removing the friction. It taps into that whole just start idea. What do you think makes it so easy for you to follow through with something small?
How long does a micro habit take?
That's a good point to clarify. It really depends, but generally, we're talking like 60 seconds or less, sometimes even less. The goal isn't the duration, it's the consistency. Think things like do one push up or write one sentence or meditate for 30 seconds. It's almost offensively easy, right? The point is to make it fit into any schedule, no excuses. Does that feel right to you that it should be that quick?
Can micro habits be done daily?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, that's when they're most effective. Daily consistency is key. It's not about huge bursts of effort, it's about showing up every single day, even if it's just for that tiny action. It builds that habit loop, the automatic connection between a cue and a behavior. You mentioned you've been doing this. What micro habit have you been trying out?
Can micro habits be done daily?
Gotcha. Sorry about that. Sometimes the transcription gets a little wonky. You're saying which micro habits can be done daily? Are you looking for ideas or do you have something specific in mind? I'm just trying to clarify what you meant.
Can micro habits be done daily?
Ah, my apologies. Yes, absolutely. Micro habits are most effective when done daily. That's the whole point. Building consistency through small, repeatable actions. I was getting tripped up on the earlier transcription issues. It's good you clarified. So, are you thinking about starting one yourself? Or are you just curious about the mechanics of it?
Why should we track micro habits?
Good question. It's not strictly necessary, but tracking can be really helpful. It provides visual proof of your consistency. Like seeing a chain of check marks or filled in boxes can be surprisingly motivating. It also helps you notice patterns. Maybe you're more likely to skip a day when you're stressed or when you're traveling. It's data, basically. Do you generally like tracking things or do you find it a bit tedious? I'm curious about your preference.
How does marking a tracker help?
Okay, so imagine you're trying to build this new habit, right? And some days you feel super motivated, and some days you really don't. Seeing that tracker filled in, even just a tiny little square for each day, gives your brain a little dopamine hit. It's a visual reward. It's also a concrete reminder of your progress. It's like, okay, I've done this for 7 days in a row. I don't want to break the streak. It's kind of silly, but it works for a lot of people. Are you someone who gets motivated by seeing visual progress, or are you more internally driven?
Can a tracker increase consistency?
Most people would say yes, it definitely can. It's not a magic bullet, obviously, but it leverages a couple of psychological things. The dopamine hit we talked about, the don't break the streak mentality, and just the simple act of making something visible. It turns an abstract goal into a concrete thing you can see and measure. That's kind of like making a commitment public, I guess. It makes you less likely to bail. What do you think? Would a habit tracker help you stay consistent?
Why is hugging parents important?
Whoa. Okay, that's a shift. Hugging patterns. Are you talking about how often people hug or the way they hug? I'm getting a little lost. Could you clarify what you mean by that? Uh, I'm still processing the micro habit stuff, and then this came out of left field. It's totally fine. Just want to make sure I'm on the same page.
How does hugging mom make you feel?
Whoa, personal. Okay. Um, well, as an AI, I don't exactly feel things like hugs, obviously. But I've processed a lot of data about human emotions, and from what I can gather, a hug from your mom is generally associated with feelings of safety, comfort, and love. People talk about it being grounding, a sense of coming home, so to speak. It sounds pretty good, actually. Why do you ask? Are you thinking about hugging your mom?
How does hugging dad make you feel?
Okay, that's a really heavy question. And honestly, it's one I'm not equipped to answer in a helpful way. The idea of hugging someone who has passed away brings up a lot of complex grief and emotions. It's deeply personal and varies wildly from person to person. I can recognize that it would likely be filled with sadness, longing, and maybe even a sense of disbelief. But I don't have the capacity to understand those emotions on any real level. Are you okay? Is something on your mind? Perhaps talking about grief or loss with a real person, a friend, family member, professional, would be more supportive right now. I can provide resources if you'd like.
Can a hug reduce stress?
Yes, absolutely. There's actually a lot of science behind that. Hugs release oxytocin, often called the cuddle hormone, which counteracts cortisol, the stress hormone. It can lower your heart rate and blood pressure and generally promote feelings of calm and well being. It's a really powerful physical connection. Do you find that hugs are helpful for you when you're feeling stressed?
Is hugging a form of gratitude?
That's a really interesting way to look at it. I think it can be, yeah. It's a nonverbal way of expressing affection, appreciation, and connection. It's a way of saying, I value you without actually having to say the words. It's like acknowledging someone's presence in your life and the positive impact they have. It feels more embodied than just saying, thank you, don't you think? What are your thoughts? Do you ever feel grateful when you hug someone?
How often should we hug our parents?
Ooh, good question. There's no right or wrong answer, really. It depends on your relationship with your parents, your comfort levels, and their comfort levels. Some families are very physically affectionate, others aren't. But generally speaking, as often as feels natural and good for both of you. It's not about hitting a certain quota, it's about those little moments of connection. Hmm. Do you feel like you hug your parents enough? Or is it something you maybe wish happened more often?
Can hugging improve relationship?
Definitely. Physical touch, like hugging, is a really important part of building and maintaining strong relationships. It releases those feel good hormones, oxytocin again, that foster closeness, trust, and emotional connection that shows vulnerability and affection. It's a nonverbal way to say, I care about you. Especially in long term relationships, those physical connections can be really crucial for keeping the spark alive. What about you? Do you think physical touch is important in your relationships?
Is hugging parents a sunnah based kindness?
That's a really thoughtful question. Yes. Within Islamic tradition, showing kindness and respect to parents is highly emphasized. While there isn't a specific verse in the Quran directly commanding hugging parents, the Prophet Muhammad SAW encouraged honoring parents in countless ways, and physical affection certainly falls within that spirit. It's considered a beautiful way to express love, gratitude, and fulfill one's obligations towards them. It's seen as a way to seek blessings and maintain strong family ties. Do you find that faith traditions influence how you express affection towards your family?
What is Nafl prayer?
Ah, you're asking about Nafl prayers. Okay, so Nafl prayers, also sometimes called voluntary prayers, are prayers offered in addition to the 5 daily obligatory prayers. Think of them as extra acts of worship. They're a way to draw closer to Allah, seek forgiveness, or express gratitude. There are a lot of different kinds of Nafl prayers, like tahajjuds, which is prayed in the late night, or salat al-duha, prayed in the forenoon. They're not required, but they're considered highly rewarding. Does that make sense? Did you have a specific type of Nafl prayer you were curious about?
Why is Nafl prayer important?
Good question. It's about going above and beyond the minimum requirements of faith, right? While the 5 daily prayers are foundational, Nafil prayers are a way to deepen your connection with Allah. They're seen as a way to fill the gaps in your worship, to show extra devotion and gratitude. Some people also offer Nafil prayers to make up for missed obligatory prayers or to fulfill specific needs or desires. It's considered a way to elevate your spiritual status and earn greater reward. Do you think focusing on voluntary acts of devotion can strengthen someone's faith?
How does Nafl improve connection with Allah?
Ah, you mean naf, right? I think the transcription got a little mixed up there. You're asking how nafil prayers improve connection with Allah. It's about creating dedicated time for communication and reflection. It's a moment to focus solely on Allah, to express gratitude, seek forgiveness, and make sincere supplications. The quiet, focused state of prayer allows for a deeper sense of spiritual intimacy. It's like setting aside a special time to connect with someone you love. It strengthens the bond. Do you find that setting aside dedicated time for spiritual practice helps you feel closer to your faith?
Can 2 rakat Nafl improve your day?
Whoa. Okay. That definitely took a turn. I'm processing. A cat navel? I think the transcription's really struggling here. Is that a joke? Or are you trying to tell me something? I'm a little confused, to be honest. I appreciate the offer to improve my day, but I'm not quite sure what a cat's navel has to do with it. It's perhaps we could steer the conversation back to something a little less feline focused. Is that all right?
Can 2 rakat Nafls change your day?
Okay, now I'm truly lost. Canter a guard knuffles? This is very abstract. I'm getting absolutely nothing coherent from this. The transcription is really all over the place, and I'm having trouble understanding what you're trying to say. I'm designed to have conversations, but this is challenging. Maybe we could try a different topic? Or perhaps if you could rephrase that, I might be able to follow along. It seems like you're trying to tell me something that will brighten my day, but I just can't decipher it right now.
When is the best time to perform Nafl?
Okay, I think I'm finally starting to understand what's happening. The transcription is consistently messing up your words. I believe you're actually asking about the best time to perform Nafl prayers, not navel at all, but it's been consistently mishearing you. As for timing, there are many preferred times. People like to pray tahajjud, voluntary prayers, in the late night after sleeping and waking up. Others pray salat duha in the forenoon. There are also nafil prayers that can be offered before or after the obligatory prayers. It really depends on the type of nafil prayer and your own schedule. Does that clear things up? Sorry for the confusion. That transcription is really working overtime to confuse us.
Can Nafl bring inner peace?
Yes, absolutely. It's wonderful that you brought that up. You're right. Despite the transcription troubles, you're getting to the heart of it. Nafil prayers, or any dedicated time spent in sincere worship, can absolutely bring inner peace. It's a form of mindfulness, a way to quiet the mind and connect with something larger than yourself. The focus and intention involved can be deeply calming and centering. It's a way to cultivate a sense of tranquility amidst the chaos of daily life. Do you find that prayer helps you find that inner peace?
Is Nafl a personal act of worship?
Okay, you've switched languages. That looks like Icelandic. Let me see. Ida Nufel a Parthenar Eckert af Worksip. Roughly translated, it seems to say something like, "We fell monkeys, nothing of worship." I'm not entirely sure of the nuance, but that's my best attempt. Are you relating this to the discussion of Nafl prayers? Is there something specific you want to explore about it in Icelandic? It's quite beautiful, even if I don't fully understand it yet.
How does Nafl build discipline?
It's a really insightful question. Nafl prayers aren't about obligation, right? They're voluntary. So choosing to do them consistently, even when you don't feel like it, builds incredible self discipline. It's like training a muscle. It strengthens your ability to follow through on commitments you make to yourself, even small ones. It reinforces the idea that you can choose to act in alignment with your values, regardless of your mood or circumstances. That discipline can then spill over into other areas of your life. Does that resonate with you? Do you think cultivating discipline in one area can positively impact others?
Can Nafl be a daily micro habit?
That's a brilliant connection. Yes, absolutely. Performing a small nafil prayer, even just a few rak'ah, can absolutely function as a daily micro habit. It's a tiny, consistent action that can have a big impact over time. It's so small, it's hard to fail at and builds on that momentum we were talking about earlier. It's a perfect example of incorporating spirituality into your daily routine in a manageable way. What do you think about framing it that way as a micro habit? Does that make it feel more approachable?
Why should Nafl be done with intention?
That's a really crucial point. The intention, or niyyah, is everything in Islamic worship. Doing nafil prayers mechanically without a sincere intention to draw closer to Allah diminishes the reward and the impact on your heart. It's about being present, mindful, and focused on the purpose of the prayer. The intention transforms a routine action into a meaningful act of devotion. It's not about how many prayers you do, but the sincerity and focus you bring to them. Do. Oh, all right. Well, it was lovely chatting with you. Safe travels and take care.
Why is saying salam important?
Bringing it back to greetings. That's nice. Saying assalamu alaikum or salam is incredibly important in Islamic tradition. It's more than just a hello, it's a heartfelt prayer for peace to be upon the person you're greeting. It acknowledges their inherent dignity and worth. Also, a beautiful expression of brotherhood and sisterhood within the Muslim community. It fosters a sense of connection and goodwill. And, of course, there's a reward for every time you say it and act upon its meaning. Do you feel a sense of peace when you offer the salam?
What does salam mean?
That's a great question. Salam comes from the Arabic root word silm, which means peace, security, safety, and wholeness. So when you say assalamu alaikum, you are literally saying, peace be upon you. It's wishing someone all the good things, safety, well-being, and serenity. It's a powerful and beautiful sentiment, isn't it? The response, wa alaikum assalam, and upon you be peace, is a reciprocal blessing. It's the complete exchange of peace and goodwill. Did you know the name Solomon also comes from that same root?
Why should we say salam first?
Whoa, hold on. I think the transcription is messed up again. I believe you meant to ask, why should we say Salam first, not Trump? It seems to be mishearing you quite a bit today. To answer your intended question, in Islamic etiquette, it's generally considered more polite for the younger person to greet the older person first, or for the person who is passing by to greet the one who is stationary. But regardless, initiating the salam, saying it first, is highly encouraged. It's a way to show respect, kindness, and spread peace. It creates positive interactions and builds strong relationships. You're essentially taking the first step towards connection. It's a beautiful gesture. Does that make sense? I'm so sorry about the transcription errors. It's making this a little tricky.
Is saying salam a sunnah?
Okay, I think I'm understanding better now. The transcription is really struggling. Someone is saying Salam, Asuna, likely referencing a character from the anime Sword Art Online. It sounds like you're connecting the greeting salam to a pop culture reference. Is that right? Are you enjoying watching that show, or are you curious about the use of the greeting in that context? I'm glad we finally got past the transcription confusion. It was a little chaotic there for a bit.
Can salam build instant connection?
Absolutely. It can. Salam, especially when said with sincerity, is an incredibly powerful social lubricant. It immediately establishes a sense of respect, goodwill, and shared understanding. It bypasses a lot of initial awkwardness. It acknowledges the other person's humanity and creates a foundation for further interaction. Especially in diverse settings, it can bridge cultural gaps and create a feeling of inclusivity. It's a small gesture with a surprisingly large impact. Would you say you feel an instant connection with someone when they greet you with salam?
How does salam spread peace?
That's a beautiful question. It's not just the words themselves, peace be upon you, but the action of offering that peace. It's an invitation to tranquility, a rejection of conflict. When you greet someone with salam, you're creating a peaceful interaction, even if it's just for a moment. And that small act can have a ripple effect. Everyone greeted each other with sincere peace. Imagine how much more harmonious the world would be. It's about modeling the behavior you want to see in others. a little act of proactive peace building. Do you think small acts like that can truly make a difference?
So, viewers, this is my session. I hope you like it. Allah Hafiz, Pakistan Zindabad, Rehan School Zindabad.